On April 16th, I was sent this picture by a friend that I used to work with at a local pet store. Somebody had dropped off this leopard gecko in this exact shape. I was asked to come pick him up. So I brought him home, got him soaked, started to spoon feed him some Reptiboost. He took to the Reptiboost really well. But it would be 3 weeks before he'd eat on his own. He was simply too weak. After 3 weeks, he finally took to some live feeders. It was 5.5 weeks before he would shed on his own. He needed assistance, he needed soaks, he needed round-the-clock care. After 5.5 weeks, he finally shed on his own for the first time, although we still had issues getting the shed off his toes. He tried, man, he so tried. He did figure out how to do normal leopard gecko things after a few days, like eat the shed skin, which if you don't know is something leopard geckos do. We started to worry when he would not shed on the toes. He got there though. Over time, with him eating an appropriate diet, his body condition improved. He shed multiple times without assistance, without the soaks, and continued to eat a diet of dubia roaches, waxworms, mealworms. He had a hard time catching insects, so we stayed away from crickets. And today, Lychee topped out at 28 grams and went to go meet his owner at his new home. So let's talk about Lychee's story a little bit. Lychee belonged to an 11-year-old kid whose parents assumed that he would take care of the cute thing he said he wanted. And all too often I see, what kind of reptile can I get my kid that's easy to take care of? And leopard geckos seem to be the most common recommended, easy to handle, easy to care for, and generally speaking they are. But if it's for a kid, then parents need to check and make sure that things are being taken care of, just like with any other pet. You would make sure they're walking the dog, you'd make sure they're taking the dog out, they're feeding the dog. And unfortunately, that didn't happen with Lychee. So Lychee became very malnourished, he was severely emaciated, he was too weak to stand, too weak to walk. We weren't sure Lychee was going to make it, because somebody got the easy reptile for their kid. Here's the harsh truth. There is no easy, kid-friendly reptile. There are reptiles kids can handle. There are reptiles that are easier than others to care for, but they still have some pretty specific care requirements. And the average 11-year-old isn't going to be familiar with those. So make sure if you're going to bring something home, dog, cat, hamster, rabbit, snake, lizard, I don't care what it is, make sure you do the research. Make sure the kid knows what they're getting into, and make sure they are going to follow through. If the parents had been doing that, Lychee would not have reached the level of neglect that he was at when I got him. Plain and simple. So make sure you and your child are going to put in the research, the effort, and everything required to care for whatever pet, but especially reptiles. They aren't throwaway animals any more than a dog or a cat is.